school, right? And the law school she wanted to go to was in Atlanta. And mind you, I always loved Atlanta. Always wanted to uh, wanted to live in Atlanta. Saw myself in Atlanta, and she said she was going. Knew at the rather say that way. I thought at the time that I wanted to marry her, right? And that she was who I wanted to or could spend, um, the rest of my life with, right? And so I moved out to Atlanta, ahead of her, of her getting accepted, ahead of her making up her mind to move there. I went ahead and moved to Atlanta. I said to myself, I'm just preparing. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to, you know, um, I'm going to be getting things ready for when she finally does make it here, right? That's what I told myself. That's what I told myself. But you know, I got to Atlanta. I just wanted to. I put this properly. Now I put this. I made my way to Atlanta. I was in Atlanta and wasn't fully happy in Atlanta. There were so many different things that would go wrong and going on. So many things I did not understand about life and why things were the way they were. Then he let me know one day, hey, um, I'm not coming to Atlanta, and you know, you and I are not going to be together. They're over between us. I just don't love you. I don't think I know what love is outside of family. Blah blah blah. That whole thing. And after or while being rather in a place that I didn't understand, uh, you know, uh, it didn't make sense. It did not make sense to me. And being in that place, all right, while being in that place, um, one thing that I have always done is I hold on to, or not hold on, but yeah, that's it. Hold on to the word of God. When it says in Proverbs, right? He says, "Get wisdom, get understanding, and all wisdom, or by getting rather, get understanding, right? Wisdom is the principal thing. So I recognize, I realize that you can't get wisdom without understanding. Being in a place that I did not understand, I did not know that was not uh, familiar to me, began to write, and I began to inquire of the Lord. And I began to write and began to inquire. And I began to write and I began to inquire, right? And that is how I got my first book that uh, you, you have heard talk about my first book, Dream, Big Dream, Living in a Small World. I got the book because I was in a place I didn't understand. And then to turn around and again remind you the young had I don't think I know what love is or that I know how to love, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. If it's not family or whatever, because I'm kind of selfish, was true, but uh, anyway, progressing, you know, but then to turn around and see her and my father or one of my friends or one of my I thought we were friends. We're dating and we're on a trip together. I think like her family, they all cruise together. Well, what happened to that love thing? You just I didn't get into relationships at this point. Like, what's the world? And in the midst of not understanding all of that stuff, not understanding why I was in the place I was in, why all this stuff was going on, I did right. And yeah, insecurities kicked in. This is why I'm talking about this. Because see, the guy who she started dating, who I, at one point was, a friend of mine, he was skin, right? I'm not a skin fella. He was a little bit shorter than I am. I'm 6 foot, and these are some of my insecurities I had, younger man, and growing up. I got a little bit. I began to get a little bit more comfortable with it. But when you're in the eighth grade, 6 foot 9, and you're one of the darkest of all your friends, and all your friends who aren't 6'9" and who aren't as dark as you are seem to have girls and girlfriends, and all the girls like them, right? That's how I used to feel. That's how I used to think. That's how you look at it. And so my insecurities begin to flare up. And in the midst of my insecurities flaring up and me dealing with insecurities, I began to write. I began to pray, and I began to write. And as I wrote this book, God began to challenge each and every one of those insecurities. God began to challenge each and every one of those issues. And so what am I saying to you? Again, I shared with you all today. I want to pick up and take it a bit further. There is power in your vulnerability. There's power in expressing, in dealing with, and in confronting your insecurities. What you recognize and realize is that those things that you were insecure about, those things that you were worried about, all those things, your shortcomings, if you will, or all those different things. You recognize, you realize. I had a conversation yesterday with one of my brothers, and he was talking about Peter walking on water. We were talking about Peter walking on water. He said Peter got distracted by it. He listed the things that Peter got distracted by. And I said, interesting or amazing about that, and I've shared this with you all before, is the thing that started for Peter, it said he looked at the wind, and then he looked at the waves, right? He looked at the wind and waves. When I look at that, I see how Peter got distracted by something that you can't really see. It's there, it's behind you, but he didn't even, like, it's not something he could really see. He kind of maybe felt it, right? He did see effects of it in the waves. And so you take that further, what am I saying is that so many times in our lives, things that may be real, but we're imagining them to a degree, or giving them so much power over us that now they've caused us to begin to sink. We sink into our depression. We sink into, and let me just say, shout out to brother and my friend. Like I said, he and I had a conversation starting on Sunday that has continued over the past few days, and he really helped me. Jeremy, who just welcomed his second daughter into this world. Congratulations to Jeremy and Jay. They brought in their first child together, right? His second to this world. Mr. Blood, and congratulations to Jeremy. And like I said, he is partly responsible for helping to be able to articulate in such a way that I am to this degree. So shout out to Jeremy Brown out of anyway. But anyhow, to them. So continuing on, what causes us to drown in our insecurities? What causes us to drown in our insecurities is when we get into this mode, or we get into this place where things that aren't really there, you know, but not really a threat. See, the wind was always blowing. I mean, the wind was always there, but sometimes, you know, the wind a little bit loud in our ears. As sometimes we become more aware of the wind in our lives, it causes us to get distracted. It causes us to begin to sink because now we've taken our focus off of God. Now we've taken our focus away from the things that, or the person, the, you know, and I mean, I'm referring to God. Let me say that. When I say the person, referring to God. Now we've taken our eyes off of the God, you know, Elohim, Adonai Elohim, who has called us to um, walk on water. Like I said, the waves were there, but then, you know, you get into, and that's what happens with so many of us. Um, if we could just allow ourselves to be vulnerable, you'll realize, you'll recognize you need God. If you could, you know, this is power that is in insecurity. This power that's in your um, vulnerability is that when you become vulnerable, you share those insecurities. What you find and you recognize. I have a friend, best man, you know, and um, he is also a tall fella. Now, he'll quickly tell you that he is as tall as I am, you know, and compared to me, he doesn't feel all that. But you know that's neither here nor there, right? He's a tall fella, all, and talks that I've had with him have helped me not be as insecure about some of the things that I've usually in the past been insecure about. I recognize, I realize we both have had similar struggles, and it's because both of us have, you know, struggled with being, you know, so tall, with different aspects or parts of our features. And the more I talk with him, and the more I, you know, the more it helps me even to this day, you know, to overcome any of my insecurities. And you know, I appreciate him because he's one of those ones who he'll kind of get you up or hype you up, as they say, you know, without even really trying, you know. Now, you know, I try to do the same for him, know how successful I am, but just through conversation, he will gas you up and encourage you, make you feel like, okay, cool, you know, maybe it ain't as bad as I thought I was. But when I am able to be, when I am able to be that vulnerable, when I'm able to be that insecure with somebody, when I'm able to go through and deal with that uh, with somebody, it makes all the world a difference. I promise you, it makes all the world a difference. And I just want to encourage you. I just want to encourage you. You've got to be able to be vulnerable with somebody. You've got to be able to be vulnerable with somebody. You know, there is a whole song I remember back in the day. I was a part of my school's choir, and there is a song that we sing, or that we used to sing rather, in the school choir. And the song that we used to sing was "No Me." And you know, there's a part of the song where it says, you know, you just have a problem, you know, that I understand. We all need somebody to, you know, or it says, I have a problem that you understand, right? We all need somebody, you know. And so, you know, it goes on and it's, but nobody can those of your needs that you let show. And so here's the thing. I I want to challenge you, brothers and my sisters. I want to challenge you, friends, to find a safe place to be vulnerable. Here lately, I have found strength in my vulnerability. I have found strength in my insecurity. Here's what 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 says. It says, he said to me what God is saying then to Paul as he's writing Corinth. It says, and he, God, said to me, Paul, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly, I would rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ rest upon me. The other day, and this is what I've been finding strength in sharing my vulnerability and my insecurities. One of the things that I absolutely hate is messing up on things in front of my wife. Because I'm supposed to be, her husband, the our household, the priest of our home, all that. So I hate messing up in front of my wife. Like it bothers me. It does. It's one of those things that, and I mess up maybe in some of y'all. I mess up, in front of her. Oh man, it bothers me. Because I think so highly, or I think I care rather about how she sees me, right? How she views me. The other day I was backing up the trailer to the house, right? And was trying to get it in the sweet spot, this little sweet spot I like to put it in. And she was sitting outside, just her dog, and they were just not enjoying the sunshine. And I just couldn't get the thing right. I had it almost right. It was just a little bit too close to the flower. I was like, I need to adjust it, and I almost had it again, and it was too close to the house, so I tried to adjust it. I just overcorrecting it, and I remember just I had it like where it was fine, and then I just left it. And it wasn't in the spot, mind you. It was much further away from the sweet spot I'd like, and I was not in a position where I normally would like to have it. I was like, man, I just can't keep messing up in front of and I just parked my and trailer right there, and I just got out and started unloading and doing, and I had to say, babe, yeah, I don't know why. I just decided in that moment to be vulnerable. I said, I didn't put the trailer where I wanted it to be. Uh, I stopped because getting embarrassed. You were sitting there and you were watching me, and all this and that, and I just wasn't sure. I was tired of embarrassing myself in front of you. She began to encourage me. She began to, hey, it's all right. You were doing better than what you've done in the past. And I mean, but there was a time you couldn't even, this and the other, but like you had it right about you wanted it. Like I thought you were doing. And that moment, like, challenged all of my insecurities about that. It challenged, all of that stuff. Like it let me know, okay, I don't, no, like it's not as bad as I was making it to be. I'm making as big a fool of myself as I thought I was. I want to encourage each and every when you get to a place where you can be vulnerable, when you get to a place where you can share your insecurities with somebody, find strength. You find healing in that. I want to encourage you to find your strength. I want to encourage you to find your healing. I want to encourage you. Find somebody you can be vulnerable. Doesn't matter if it's a counselor, whomever, whatever the case may be. You've got to find a place or somebody you can be vulnerable. There is power in your vulnerability. There is power. You share your insecurities because you'll realize it's really bad as you think it was. All right? All right. That's the word for you today. You know that there is power in your vulnerability, power in your insecurities. You just be willing to share them. You share them, you'll recognize, just as that other song said, that I might have a problem that you understand, or that somebody, has somebody understands you, and you find strength in that. All right, friends, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and get back into music. I want to play this song for you. It's by William Murphy, titled Free, right here on I Am Encouraged here on 94.5.